The wind caressed my skin as I slowly blinked my eyes open. The world was wrapped in a soft, golden haze, the kind that lingers in the early hours of the morning, when time itself moves gently. I took a deep breath, letting the cool air fill my lungs, then exhaled slowly, as if I could release all the weight of uncertainty pressing against me. Had it all been a dream? The memories of my journey among the stars shimmered like a mirage, shifting between reality and illusion. The hum of the rocket still echoed faintly in my mind, the vastness of space stretching endlessly behind my closed eyelids. And yet, I was here, on Earth, on solid ground, the scent of damp earth and pine needles wrapped around me like an old, familiar embrace. The air was rich with life, its rhythm slow, steady, unhurried. I pressed my palm against the wooden platform beneath me, feeling the warmth of the sun-kissed surface. The sky above me stretched wide and endless, soft streaks of clouds drifting lazily. A gentle breeze whispered through the leaves, carrying with it the scent of distant rain. This was real. I curled my fingers around the warm cup in my hands. The heat seeped into my skin, grounding me. There was something profoundly human in this simple act, holding something warm, feeling its weight, its texture. A connection to the present, to the now. I lowered my gaze to the world around me. The trees stood tall and unwavering, their branches arching like silent guardians of the earth. Some of the leaves rustled, stirred by the wind, while others remained perfectly still, as if they were listening. The mountains in the distance rose like ancient sentinels, their peaks brushed with the first light of the morning. The air hummed with an unspoken rhythm, a symphony of rustling leaves, the distant murmur of water, the occasional call of a bird. I closed my eyes for a moment and simply listened. The world was breathing, and I was breathing with it. A single bird soared above, gliding effortlessly against the pale blue expanse. I watched as it circled, then disappeared into the canopy of trees. How long had it been since I last noticed such small, quiet wonders? How long had it been since I felt truly here? My fingers absent-mindedly traced the bracelet on my wrist. A simple thing, small beads strung together, warmed by my skin. A reminder of time, of touch, of the little things that make up a life. For so long, I had searched for answers in the stars, in the infinite darkness beyond this world. But now, here, in the quiet embrace of nature, I wondered, had I been searching in the wrong place all along? I stretched my legs, feeling the firm ground beneath me, the weight of my body settling into the moment. There was a beauty in stillness, a quiet kind of knowing. I ran my fingers along the wooden surface beside me, feeling every groove, every imperfection. Time had carved its mark into the grain, shaping it slowly, patiently, the way wind shapes the mountains, the way water smooths stone. I exhaled, letting my shoulders relax. Everything in nature knew how to be. The trees did not rush their growth. The rivers did not question their course. The stars did not ask where they belonged. And yet here I was, asking, searching, wondering. I took another sip from my cup, the warmth spreading through me. Maybe I didn't need all the answers today. Maybe it was enough to simply exist, to feel the air against my skin, to hear the whispers of the wind, to sit beneath a sky that had watched over me long before I ever thought to look up. The thought brought a quiet peace. A single leaf detached from its branch and began its slow descent, spinning gently before coming to rest near my feet. There was something poetic in that, letting go, drifting, not in fear, but in trust. Maybe I could do the same. I placed my cup down beside me and leaned back slightly, letting my gaze wander across the landscape. The hills rolled softly in the distance, their contours painted in warm tones of gold and green. Somewhere beyond them, the world stretched on, vast and unknowable. A breeze picked up, stirring the loose strands of my hair, carrying with it the scent of damp earth and morning dew. The sky above shifted ever so slightly, clouds drifting apart, revealing the vast, endless blue. I watched the slow dance of the treetops, their movement subtle yet constant, as if whispering secrets to one another. The sun, still low on the horizon, painted the world in a golden glow, its light spilling over the landscape like liquid warmth. Somewhere in the depths of the forest, a stream trickled over stones, its sound weaving effortlessly into the stillness. I found myself drawn to it, the melody of the water calling to something deep within me. With quiet steps, I stood and moved toward the trees. The ground was soft beneath my boots, the earth cool and welcoming. Every step felt deliberate, as if the world itself was guiding me. As I walked, I let my fingertips brush against the bark of passing trees, their surfaces rough and worn with time. Each one told a story, of storms endured, of seasons shifting, of roots reaching deep into the embrace of the earth. I reached the stream, kneeling at its edge. The water was clear, reflecting the sky like a mirror. Tiny ripples spread where the current met the stones, their patterns ever changing, yet always returning to stillness. I dipped my fingers into the cool water, feeling the way it slipped over my skin, weightless and free. How simple, how effortless the flow of the stream. It did not resist its path. It did not fight the stones in its way. It moved forward, always forward, embracing each twist and turn with quiet acceptance. And I wanted to do the same. I closed my eyes, listening to the gentle rhythm of the world around me, the steady heartbeat of the earth, the slow exhale of the wind, the quiet murmur of the stream. And for the first time in a long time, I did not feel lost. I did not feel adrift between the stars, caught between what was and what could be. I felt here, present, alive. I opened my eyes, watching the water flow, watching the leaves dance in the wind, watching the world exist in its quiet, perfect way. And I knew I was exactly where I was meant to be.
Senea closed her eyes and listened to the rhythm of the world, quiet, unhurried, asking nothing of her. There was no need to rush, no need to have all the answers right now. Every moment had its time. Every thought arrived when it was meant to. There was no need to chase them, no need to force them into existence. She took a deep breath. The air was crisp, clear, carrying something new. Something she could feel deep within her, though she could not yet name it. She was no longer searching. What she needed had always been here, within herself, in the smallest moments, in the simple act of breathing, in the peace that arrived when she simply was. Not in distant places, not in answers yet to come, but here, in this very moment. She opened her eyes. The world looked the same, and yet she felt it differently. The leaves trembled in the breeze, the sun dipped lower toward the horizon, and the air carried that quiet weightlessness that belonged only to the final hours of the day. She still didn't know where her path would lead, but the uncertainty no longer unsettled her. Every step had its time, every road its own rhythm, and before her lay open space, endless and full of possibility. Whatever awaited her on the horizon, she was ready, and the world was open before her.